Morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm a wee bit late. I said 7:30. It's 7:35 now. I'm a bit of technical problem this morning involving my breakfast, actually. But anyway, about that later. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me put some lights on. There's no lights on this thing. So I hope you're well. News this morning really has been the continued trend. We got a new all-time high in sorry, just put the lights on in my studio. New all-time high in gold this morning, 7,000 4,720. We are over the 7,000 level. This is the 5-minute chart here to the left of me. This is gold. Let me just make myself a wee bit smaller. Don't like defaults like that. There we go. So gold, right, the continuing risk off in markets is is following through. We've got big moves against the yen. The Kiwi is our biggest mover this morning. Yen yields continue to move up. Remember, we had that confirmation of the election by the new Prime Minister for the 8th of February. See the sabre and proposed extra tariffs on 8 European countries from Donald Trump continues to rattle markets. He's going to be in Davos at the World Economic Forum speaking tomorrow. There are still holes in his diary, apparently, by all accounts, but he's looking to get some sort of deal over or get agreement on board over his Gaza peace plan and get some more members on board of that. He's talked about inviting Putin as a member as well. Putin must be laughing his socks off. A united Europe against its number one ally, the United States. What a carry on! What has been world order since the Second World War has been turned on its head by this very right-wing Republican. Will it all end in tears? Demanded again that the US needs to control, not only control, but own Greenland. Obviously, it's a Denmark territory, and that ridiculous letter he sent yesterday, like a kid throwing his toys out of the cot to the Norwegian Prime Minister, that he's done with peace. What sort of comment is that? I have fixed 7 wars. I mean, one of them was a spat between in Africa. I think it was Somalia and Ethiopia. Another one was a spat between. It did stop it in its tracks, but it was all to do with money between India and Pakistan. But hardly wars. But Azerbaijan and Armenia was a little bit different. I'll give them credit for that. But obviously, the major killing in Gaza has stopped, but that still is very much ongoing. But come on, Mr. Trump, put some big boy trousers on. But he doesn't function like that, does he? But anyway, as far as we're concerned, trends are continuous, and that's all that matters when it comes to making money in the markets. So I say this morning, gold at all-time highs, 4,700. Guys, if there's anything else you want to have a look at, do let me know. But gold remains on a relentless rally. If you just look at the hourly chart, that was the 5-minute chart this morning. So big jump yesterday on open as a risk off rallied, hit the stock markets, and gold became a safe haven bid. Same with silver, $95 is within reach now. We're at $94.50 this morning and remained bid. As I say, Forex, the dollars remained weak. Yen in particular, let's just go off the yen pairs as well. Clobbered. The one we took the trade on last night was the Kiwi yen. Last night we got in at 91.63. We were filled. First target, 30 pips. It was hit overnight, and we've now pulled our stop loss. This is the hourly chart. Yeah, just shy of our T1 level. I think I moved the wrong thing there. I think I should have. That's the target stop loss. I'll move that up a bit as well. Let's move that stop loss up above target one. So 92.20 stop loss now. So we're getting another at least 15, 17 pips on that move to the upside. Sterling is also higher against the weaker yen. We had some mixed data out of the United Kingdom this morning. Major news with regard to jobs and earnings. The claimant count actually went up disappointingly to nearly 18,000. This is new claims from expected 15,600, and there was a decline. There was actually a positive number from last month, so this could be revised quite significantly. But if we look at the UK jobs, we actually don't often look at this, do we? If you look at the UK claimants, obviously the numbers are much smaller than they are in the United States, but it's been moribund for a long time. To take the forecast stuff, you can see it's been very weak. Let's get rid of the COVID spike, and it brings it into into perspective. There, it's not been moving up at all. So sort of relatively stable jobs, but there aren't the people aren't finding jobs, but the people going into the jobs market isn't increasing particularly. So we remain fairly fixed on that number, on that piece of data. Earnings, on the other hand, those are in jobs. It's a bit like in the United States. Those that are in jobs are doing quite well. Earnings, the average earnings index up 4.7%, higher than expected. It's all to do with chasing inflation, but earnings above inflation. His earnings with bonuses higher. So let's get rid of that. We'll come on to that. You can see Tuesday's main news being Andrew Bailey's speech at Davos later, as we move into the full discussions at Davos. So Lagarde, Trump tomorrow, it's a real point of contact, and other central bankers will obviously be there. So 213.43 for the guppy. Aussie 106.77. So basically, even against the weak dollar, the yen still struggles. The dollar's back to one. So the yen under pressure. Yields, as I say, moving steeply. But big potential for her fiscal fine. Will it happen this time? I say Abe tried it years ago and didn't work ultimately, but he had a really good go of stimulating that very moribund Japanese economy. Some huge structural changes need to take place for things to improve significantly for the flatlining Japanese economy. So let's have a look at what we normally do here at the Open. We are 15 minutes ahead of the Open. We've had a couple of trades on the DAX this morning. The trend remains to the downside. Big gap on Open yesterday, as with all the stock markets globally. Another move down this morning at 6 o'clock. We caught the bounce on that on our 5-minute trend reversal system here. We got in here just after 6:30. Looked like this was really moving down, but I trusted the cross on the. We pushed outside of the Bollinger Band. Remember how we trade this? We look for a touch of the outside of the Bollinger Band. Whether if it's at the lower Bollinger Band, we're looking to go long. The upper Bollinger Band, we're looking to go short, and then we wait for a cross of the K and the D line here on our stochastics. Stochastics are set at 10, 6, and 3. Remember, it's that simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. The cross actually took place there at 6:25. Well, it looks like it didn't actually do it. It was on this candle, but I didn't. Honestly, I was doing this manually. I didn't have the balls to take that, because that looked like that was really moving there. It was until we reversed, and even that was an engulfing candle on the 5-minute chart. But it paid off eventually. Got to target one from 24,800. That big round number coming into play. We actually went short again in here, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And got to target one, but then reversed quite quickly and took us out of the second half of the trade. Remember, the second half of the trade is trying to take us to the other side of the Bollinger Band. The stochastics crossed again, so we're in line. We're in, and I went short on as a continuation trade, because the stochastics was then moving down again. And obviously we hadn't touched the outside of the Bollinger Band, but we had rejected the middle line. So I took a smaller position here, which is still open. It's not actually here on this demo platform, but we took a shorter position here on this demo platform with a stop loss just there. So we'll see how all that plays out. I do like the DAX into the Open, but remember, we're now in the key the key period. And the other reason I didn't take the that short when it first crossed here on this was that we had already just plumbed a pre-market low of the day here at 6:30. So the pre-market low is down here at 24,743. The high really is when we opened this morning at 24,933. So there's a 200 and what's that 200 and well, nearly 290 point range from high to low so far today on the DAX. So we are currently short on that one. The FTSE I haven't actually had a look at yet this morning, to be honest. But again, let's just put in the rules-based system. So interestingly, our low is getting low, so that should be going trending. But as I say, this hasn't interesting. This touched, then went long. So this is a bit of a false move because we haven't then touched the outside of the Bollinger Band again here. So the FTSE from this morning anyway, today's just like the other DAX market. We are there's our pre-market high, pre-market low, which is now. So biased again, obviously to the downside. The trend. Look at the 15-minute chart; it's very much to the downside. The hour and 4 hours is very much to the downside, following the big sell-off yesterday. So this is moving lower. 10,123 our low, or our pre-market low, and that's getting lower, isn't it, as we approach the open? So we may see a bit of a bounce on open, but be careful going against the trend. This is suggesting maybe a bit of a cross here. So we've got our 2-minute chart, which we sort of played with yesterday a wee bit. Now that's crossed and flattened, and that's ticking back up. So in the 2-minute, but there's been the last touch there, so that would have might have just gone long. Let's leave it as a 5-minute. That's what it's our default. So that's looking to go low as well. Obviously, US markets were closed yesterday for Martin Luther King Day. The derivative market, as I say, never closes. We continued to track lower yesterday on the derivative market. The gapped low. The futures, the proper futures, opened. Are open again. So 25,115. They'll be opening later in the United States, but moving into the key 25,000 level for the Nasdaq 100. Dow 48,700 to the downside. Again, there's our pre-market low is actually here. We're looking to. It's a bit early to be trading the Dow, but so we'll stick with the DAX. Okay, so stocks under pressure, dollar under pressure, gold all-time highs, silver all-time highs, and the oil market 59.16 WTI trades this morning. So following all the other risk markets lower, 59.13's been our low point today for oil. So can't remember, we had some trades, didn't we, on, was it short? I can't remember if it was short or long oil now. It was short, wasn't it? No, we got stopped out coming long, but that's now reversed to the downside. Brent 63.70 this morning. Again, not that to the hourly chart. Ticking lower, rejecting that key 64 level. And WTI on the same hourly chart, rejecting that key 59.50 level this morning. So down this morning. Rhetoric from Trump being watched on his flight to Europe as the meetings continue. Interesting to see what Bailey has to say later on. So that's short. Crypto held the key 92,000 level, or had, and since earlier this morning we have breached the key 92,000 level. So the panic last night took us back under 95,000, and we went into 92,000, not last night, yesterday morning, and we'd held 92,000 all of yesterday, and now this morning we've breached back under 92,000. That breakout is potentially over. Remember, we're looking on a daily time frame. It was a stronger breakout than we've had, so it's still relatively positive. Let's see how this falls out. But I'm out of that long position, and it actually ended up as a losing position on this first rally up. There's only a small risk we had on, but that's closed, and that's been a losing trade on one of my other platforms for Bitcoin. So we're back into our channel with our still key 92, 95 in play, and from a positive point of view, we have breached this for 4 or 5 days. This 95 key 95 level, and for a breakout the 93 level for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So that's still relatively positive. So let's see if we can see what happens after the market falls out. We've got obviously extra liquidity, extra volume back with the United States being back today. Long weekend over, and is it going to be another taco trade? Is it Trump always backing down? We'll see what sort of compromise is reached over Greenland, but at the moment the rhetoric is still quite high. European stocks in particular have been slaughtered, as we saw with the DAX, and we'll see how the Europeans react. So far they're very united, and very some key robust responses from certainly the EU and the European EU countries. Keir Starmer's response was a bit muted yesterday. I'm not prepared to take on. He's trying to sound quite tough, but didn't come across that way really. Stand up to Trump, but we see how things are different. And this rhetoric and his Truth Social in the middle of the night from Trump, is different perhaps when you're face to face. And these guys are all going to be meeting face to face, or at least seeing one another. Or his entourage is seeing one another. So quite a key week. Obviously Wednesday is critical when he's actually in the room, as we say, blowing his own trumpet. It'll be painful watch, no doubt. So anyway, there we are. 92,000 crypto down. Our last long trade. We are out of that. So let's go back to the indices as the open ticks around. DAX 24,800, and the trend is down. So we'll be looking to, even on the short time frame, go with the trend to the downside. So that it's not yet stopped out, but it's turned around. So the continuous trend hasn't played out by the looks of things in this far. I'm going to get stopped out. My stop loss was on there. But we're now running into trade. So that was a successful one. That continuation trade hasn't played out. The second half of that trade didn't play out. So let's see how all that. Let's get rid of that now. That's still open. So it might reverse, but let's leave that one on for now. That was successful. And see where we are. But pre-market low currently was from 625. That spike there. To the downside. Let's have a quick look at sterling. Actually, I was going to look at dollar earlier. Did we after the jobs data? So so sterling's responded positively. Here's the jobs data here at 7 o'clock against the dollar. So sterling's improved from 134.28 to 134.75. So a 50 pip rally quite quickly. For cable, that's looking to go short though. Happy to take that at the moment, but that's moving high. Let's wait and confirm that cross takes place, but that's looking like a short position. Should we try a bit? Let's have a look at that. So put our stop loss up there, 134.84. Let's see how it reacts to 134. Call it 86, so high above the key 5, and we'll sell that one up there. We'll confirm that. Let's come back. We'll come back to that in a minute because that's our daytime high as our stop loss, and see how that pans out. So if this cross, if we continue to move higher, let's just go back to so that's sterling on the European Open. So look at back to the DAX. What's playing out on there? Our favourites are no, it still hasn't closed out. We're still our losses up there on that one, but the open is just coming now. That's continuing to move down. We've gone sideways, interestingly there. There we are, and see the volume kick in as we move into the open. There's a big volume there at 45. It's our big volume following through our buy there at 7 o'clock. The Germans and the UK traders putting their first trades through between 6:30 and 7 o'clock for the DAX. So we continue to move up on the DAX there. Quick sip. I was going to do something, it's not popped into my head. I forgot what it was. Can't remember. Anyway, oh, that's right. I was going to check, see if there's anybody here. Subaru, hi. One giveaway account, please. Subaru, Subrats, get on the our Discord, my friend. Here, if you're on Discord, see the offers that are on. Go to our Discord group, look at the announcements, what's going on. Last one was promotions, 26% off a classic account, 1 or 2 step. There will be more competitions. Are you saying you didn't get your? I'm sure everybody got their account earlier. The last competition we had. So notice board. That was what's happening this week and what's closed this week. But questions like that, go on the general chat here and put your questions up. And the support team, Wilson's around, Katson's around at the moment. Kartik, hello, good afternoon, good morning. You've been quiet for a while, but good to have you back. And I'll answer your questions there. Okay, if you're looking at trading positions, let me know, my friend. So giveaway account. I don't know whether you didn't get one or you're after one. We'll just wait for the competitions in the best places to follow our Discord group. So where are we? What's happened? Well, anyway, nothing really. It's a bit of a muted. Oh, it's still not open. It's still 2 minutes to go. That's why. Are we going to push lower? Are we going to have a bit of a volume spike? Volume drifted off, interestingly, there. Going into the open, is it going to be a turnaround Tuesday? Are we probably, there's not a great deal of data today. So the UK data was the only significant piece of data. And then we got Andrew Bailey in an hour or two, and Schnengel, the head of the Swiss National Bank, later on this afternoon. So all eyes will be on what Trump has got to say, and what glad-handing goes on in Davos tomorrow. So key data is actually Thursday with the claims and the core PCE price index. That's the real key economic data point, but obviously the geopolitics around what Trump said at the weekend is really what's rattled markets and sentiment again as he does what he wants. That's just incredible. But here we are. Let's have a look, see if there's any news elsewhere. No, I don't think there will be. Is there? Many events today. What Trump is threatening Greenland, and it's very different to German data and the UK data, and the headline is obviously about the gold going through 4.7. The Reuters morning, what does that lead with? The morning bid. UK labour market lost more than expected. We just talked about that before the budget. Morning bid talks about gold over 7,000, 4,700. Stocks fall, dollar struggles. Is there outlook for European markets as Trump's Greenland gambit rattles markets? Yes, so that's yesterday's headlines, and that continues into Tuesday. So the trend remains set there. So let's have a look how we are on open. 8 o'clock has come through, and we've gone short again. So we're back in the money on our short from 7:30. Very nearly got stopped out, but this might be a false move, obviously, on the opening positions. But volume kicking in, highest volume of the day here on being registered there at 5 to the hour. and we're moving lower. So that'd be my target there, 24,764. Having got the long leg up, it's with the trend to the downside still. So we're opening relatively weak. Let's have a quick flick to London, 10,014. That's again, that's going lower. Pre-market low is now, or the pre-market low got a bit lower, but now with markets are opening and opening lower. 10,100 is the next line in the sand to the downside. We're at 10,115 at the moment on the FTSE, so that's trending lower. This, although it's crossed again a week cross there at 745, that would have been stopped out. So that's a long position, whereas the DAX was already a short position. If that had triggered there, but that's still moving out. I mean, it could reverse, but it's stop loss would have been down here and already stopped out. So FTSE moving lower, the DAX moving lower as well. It's impact on the US is minimal, to be honest. Yeah, there we are. That's a little move on the Dow. The DAX, sorry, the NASDAQ, little move there as well. So let's go back to the active markets, which is the DAX. And we're in again, we'd have probably, there we are, our stop loss, sorry, our target one is about to be hit by looks of things. Oh, I'm saying that. Not happened. There we go. Keep losing the link as the activity kicks in, as volumes kick up. There we are. Target one's been hit on that one. So 24,872. We've got out at 24,759, probably 58 or something like that. Points in the bag on open. Thanks very much. And you can go off and enjoy the rest of the day if you obviously depends how much risk you got on, but down we go and on open. This could obviously all reverse, but the rules are we get out at the second half of the Bollinger Band. So interesting. Look, leg down, retrace, and then new leg down. So playing the Bollinger Bands down to 5 minutes, and we continue to move lower. So first half of that continuation trade has been closed out, and second half trailing the stop loss down. Let's see how this finishes though, and see how low it goes, because the stop loss, say, was up there. That will be now down to the top of the this opening candle. Well, in fact, actually, it would be still here now, top of the candle that we got in on. Remember, we got in on this short here. That was actually when we got filled, wasn't it? That's where we got filled. Sorry, that's the short candle here. So our stop loss is here above the previous candle at 24,813. As this just about got another minute before it completes, so we may turn around. And we got the FTSE and the DAX both moving in the same direction this morning. Remember, sometimes we get disparity, divergence, but the FTSE also moving lower, 10,111. Doesn't want to get that 11 points lower, but you see, it's a huge. There we are. As the huge spike in volumes on the FTSE, at least on our derivative feed here. The Nikkei, on the other hand, also weakened along with the weakening yen today. Following other markets, remember, normally the weak yen moves Nikkei higher, but the worry globally impacted Nikkei as well. 52,600 has been breached as we speak. So back to the DAX. Let's just have a look at what we had. Let's go on against as well. Looks things. Actually, bring it up here, can't we? You took it here. So we caught that. What do? We caught that. What's the hourly chart this way? Full. We caught that short there. It's gone against it at the moment. Looks like that might be getting stopped out. So there's the crossing. And I said, there we are. We remained overbought. The trend it was against the trend, as we said. as we were saying, the strong sterling on the following the jobs data has continued to move higher. Looking for a bit of a retrace on the 5 minute. Doesn't look like it's happening, and that looks like that's going to get stopped out. But maybe not. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, volume is is against us. Right? Volumes come in, and we've gone higher. Are we going to find a top at 134.88? So if we go up to the I think it's the hourly time frame, wasn't it? Yeah, there's a bit of a resistance area as well through here at the 130 480 zone, but we're pushing higher. The 4 hour was a bit taller, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so we're above the 4 hour resistance where we got it. We shorted it right there. There'll be others in on that as well, but that's a strong 4 hour candle that's still got a couple of hours to run. So for the 4 hour time frame. So as far as our opening gambit's concerned, it looks like that might, on the 5 minute time frame, looks like that might be getting taken out of the market. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Indexes, on the other hand, are in our favour. Have we turned around yet? No, we haven't. So the first opening candle is quite a big one, as is normal on the 8 o'clock open, and it's negative. So the pre-market low has been taken lower again. So the market low, today's low, is now being posted at 24,723. So the trend in the high time frames, we're very much with it. And our second half of the continuation trade is still open, and we continue to move lower on open. Let's just have a look at my Bloomberg feed. I've only got the YouTube feed here. Ryanair shares up this morning. Looks like they've bought another airline. Well, there's things here in the UK. One of the budget airlines, very, very successful budget airlines in Europe. Right, in fact, the most successful airline in Europe when it comes to. Everybody hates them, but they take off on time. The rules are very, very clear, and you don't mess with Ryanair. It does what it says on the tin, long before many other European airlines jumped on board as well. So there we are. There's our open. Two successful trades, a half successful. Second half didn't succeed. The continuation trade has been successful, so it's two halves successful. We had a long that didn't work out on the FTSE, a short that will be working out on the FTSE, turning up. So we'll see how we go. But really, the news of the morning is the weaker dollar story continues. Stocks continue to be weak. The yen is very much in play, and the biggest mover so far this morning, overnight in Asian markets, has been those in play, which has been the Kiwi, which is our strongest mover, and the weak yen. The Swiss franc is getting some support this morning as well. Aussie's up, but dollar and the yen are the two weakest of the currencies. And as I said, just go back to our open trades, our real on our end of day platform. So it's Kiwi. In fact, it's just the Kiwi, two Kiwi crosses, wasn't it? There we are. We stopped out on that cable trade, as we thought was going to happen. So Kiwi, on the other hand, this is very much in the money. Our Kiwi trade, which got to the 4 hour time frame. So target one, stop loss is now up at 92.20, as you said earlier here on Kiwi yen. So it's at least another, 15, 17, 18 points on that Kiwi trade. And the other trade we had was Aussie Kiwi, which again, stop loss has been pulled down on that one this morning to 116. All right, 115.61. I think I posted that on Discord before I came to see you, didn't I? I think I might have done. here on Trade Chat is where I put my trades. Pips Move has got a buy set up on sterling at 528, so he's also failed, interestingly. So yeah, there we are. Now at 1611. That's it. I think I might have moved it more than that, didn't we? And 9160. Sorry, 92.30. I think we might do a higher than that now. And anyway, I'll double check those. But anyway, they're both in the money. Our end of day trades. We were successful on our DAX short. Let's leave with the DAX as well. That's still moving low. Still got that half of that position open. It's reversed, so it's not hasn't. So we're still open on this one. So from our entry from this continuation cross here, they've actually touched now, so I might be looking to close that out. See how it happens. So I'm monitoring that quite closely now. So over the next few minutes, but we're continuing to move low. So I might close that out. That second half of that, having touched the outside, but the trend is still with us. If we need to see a suggestion of a cross before we close that continuation out and look to go potentially long on that sort of touch. And as you can see here, then scrub against each other for a while. So I'll be watching that manually. But that's still short and in the money. The FTSE would be short. That's come out and it's come back. That would have been closed. That short there, so that would have been closed. That's started to tick up, so we might see that rise in the DAX. But obviously, the DAX is more vulnerable. That's starting to tick up as well. So that would be closed out now on that touch. See how this candle closes, but I'll be looking to close that continuation trade. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I'll be with you tomorrow for the key data, Trump's speech. Tomorrow, Wednesday, middle of the week already. It comes around really quickly, doesn't it? So take care. Be safe. If you're not with the prop trade, why not would be my question. Lots of opportunities and lots of different types of accounts. Lots of God, my brain's gone to say lots of offers. As I said, the 26% one caught my eye. This is the accounts that's my accounts here. So lots of different competitions opening. Monthly competition, nothing open at the moment. Our resources, the platforms, whether you want to use trade lockers, we've got there. We've got C-Trade. As well now for technical trading. I really like C-Trader. I should share one here as well. But, challenges. Instant funding. A lot of you see instant funding. Very tight setups, short targets. Draw down only 3%, but 8%. Profit share. Our consistency rules about 10%. We call it our the prop trade score. It's basically our consistency score. So you want to be making all your money in one trade. You want to be consistent, and that's what we're looking for. People that can manage their prop trade, whether it's with CFDs, whether it's you got the money to invest in futures. Obviously the beauty of trading with the prop trade is you can start with very, very small accounts, very small investments to buy your challenges. You prove yourself, and then you're funded by us to take you to the next level, and then profits. And we keep a little bit. You take the vast majority, whether it's 80% or 90%. You decide how you want to go forward, but you can do it in your way, whether it's an instant funding, a PayFlex where you don't pay for the account until after you've proved yourself. Again, some quite tight setups, but understand what you're doing. If you don't understand, ask. We're here to help. And I say the resources here are here to help you get started. So lots of different types of accounts, lots of different types of platform. We've got some big news about another platform coming along. The world's most favorite trading platform will be with us shortly. So watch the Discord group for news of that over the coming weeks. So stay tuned. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a great Tuesday and be safe, everyone. All the very best. Have a great Tuesday. Take care. Bye bye.